How much does your job change in a game like this a little bit, especially for all the DBs, where they like to run to the edges, and you guys are going to have to be able to come up and kind of stop that run a little bit more?
Yeah, it's going to be basically totally different because we're not going to be having, like, you're not going to have 4 receivers every play and trips and a lot of stuff like that. They're going to do have 2 backs in the game a lot, tight ends in the game a lot. So really, we're going to basically just be closer to the line of scrimmage, and like I said, we're going to be more involved in the run game, almost like another linebacker. We're going to load up the box, so we're going to have to do a great job of tackling. And the corners on the edge, they're going to be, by themselves a lot. So we're going to expect little quick passes out to the edge, and they like to crack a lot. They're going to make our corners tackle like a lot of other teams have been doing. So it's going to be a different game plan.
Yeah, most of my friends, they were all big time, LSU fans. I always went to all the LSU games. But me personally, I was never just a huge LSU fan. I never really wanted to play there. In the recruiting process, I wanted to go out of state and experience new things in life.
Was Patrick Lewis a huge LSU fan, and how excited do you think he'll be? Kind of like you playing in your hometown last week. He's playing against what's close to his hometown.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be real excited. A lot of his friends, they play on LSU teams. He knows more people on that team than me, so I'm sure he's real excited. And, I'm sure he'll have a heck of a game this weekend.
Do y'all have to prove some toughness in this game?
To outside sources, we don't have anything to prove. For us, we just have to go out there and play our game. If we play 4-4 quarters, how we know how to play, what we can do, smart, fast, physical, Texas A&M football, then we'll be fine on defense.
You guys have talked about taking each game one game at a time, but you're out there in class with the students in the locker room. Is there a little bit of extra energy this week with it being LSU here at Caulfield?
Yeah. There's a lot. You can hear it even in here. But there's a lot of excitement. Some of the fans are upset about 11 a.m. game. I guess they wanted to dehydrate themselves a little bit more prior to the game. But there's excitement. We know Caulfield's going to be crazy. It's going to be a ridiculous atmosphere. It's going to be a maroon out. So there's going to be tons of excitement. But as a football team, we have to keep our focus not on what's going on outside, the field, but how we can make sure that we can win this game and how we can do what we need to do so that we can be successful on the field.
But is this one you circle on your calendar from last winter when it comes out and you see LSU coming to Caulfield?
You see it and you see the excitement of it, but as a senior and upperclassman, you don't really want to pinpoint just one game because you realize that these are the last guaranteed opportunities that you have, and that you take every game as a big game, regardless if you're playing South Carolina State or if you're playing LSU or Alabama.
Chance to know Johnny off the field or get to know him. So what is he like? Just impressions are he seems like a pretty happy-go-lucky guy, but
yeah.
What's an example of that?
He's always in a good mood. He comes out ready to work every single day. He's always been a confident kid. He's always been a great leader and stuff like that. But he does work every single practice. He doesn't go out there and just try to get through a practice. He works his tail off, and he kind of brings a lot of energy to the offense. Our last drive practice, stuff like that, is when he comes out the hardest. So, he's a good quarterback to play for. I've enjoyed it.
Do you all give him a hard time when he does things like rescues kittens from Welborn Road? And
yeah, we'll make fun of him a little bit about that kind of stuff. He's just kind of adding on to the whole Johnny football stuff. But it's whatever. Whatever he do, whatever. It doesn't matter to us as long as he's playing like that. So, I think the offensive line does a good job keeping him humble and everything, telling him he wouldn't be anything without us. So I think he's doing a good job with all that.
Is that a little more of a task since he's a freshman and y'all are upperclassmen as well, for the most part?
It could be some of that, but he acts like he's a veteran. He always has worked hard. He's always been a kind of a leadership type guy, very vocal guy. So, he's just one of us, really.
We've heard a lot about the effort tape. The play didn't even count, but he chased down a guy and forced a fumble and made 2 tackles. Does that make the tape, or did y'all give me flack about that play?
Yeah, that actually did make the tape. I think I ended up on the ground after the play, and I heard the whistle right away, and I was, what are they all still running for? And I see Johnny, quarterback, running 80 yards on the field, stripping the ball, tackling. So that's impressive. I mean, I love his effort, but I don't want my quarterback doing that. So he made the tape, and you know, it was a great hustle play.
Did you say anything to him about it afterward?
I think we all said a few things, you know. Just listen to the whistle, man. Come on.
This game's got to be important to you too for a career beyond A&M, because you're going to get tagged. The scouts are probably here to look at the seniors, but you're going to show up too with the way you handled your defensive ends. I mean, does that come into play at all in your mind?
You know, I need to have a big game, but every single game I need to have a really good game. You know, just got to approach it like it's just another week. You know, I'm going to be extra jacked up for this one because it is against LSU, and you know, I think we're starting a little bit of a rivalry with them. You know, I like to beat them because they kind of whooped our tail in the Cotton Bowl 2 years ago when I was a freshman. So I'd like to get them back, but you know, I just preparing like another game, watching the same amount of film. You know, really studying the film hard and just trying to prepare the same.
And where are you growing up there? So close to Baton Rouge.
I was a big, real big LSU fan. I had I used to go to the camp every year, and so, you know, I was a real big LSU fan. My dad, my mom, they were somewhat LSU fans. They really didn't care much, but I was a big LSU fan because growing up, that's all I really knew. I didn't really know any other team but LSU.
What was maybe a favorite early memory or first early memory of LSU football?
My first experience that I had really being happy was when I went to their camp. I went to their camp as a 8th grade in high school. I was really excited.
Did they recruit you?
Nah, not really. Not at all. They didn't recruit me.
Let's give you extra motivation then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does. I mean, it gives me a lot of motivation when I play a lot of school. I didn't have a whole bunch of BCS offers coming out of high school. You know, luckily A&M gave me a chance, and you know, it's been on a roll ever since. I'm happy to be here.
Patrick, I'm sorry they were banging. So you didn't have a lot of offers from BCS schools, or you did?
Oh, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't.
So have you had that kind of chip on your shoulder this whole time to prove that you belong at a BCS school?
Yeah, I think that's been my whole motive since I've been here, is just to prove that I could play Division I football. Not that many schools gave me a chance, and like I said, Texas A&M took a chance with me, and I'm glad to be here.
You think you proved them wrong enough by that? I think you did.
Yeah, I think I proved I belong just a little bit.
I know some of y'all were circulating what Coach Miles said in the offseason. A&M better strap it on, and they're not going to get a good welcome to the SEC. What was your reaction to seeing that? And do you plan to prove him wrong?
Yeah, we plan to prove people wrong. You know, we the whole off season, that was a big thing to prove that we belong. We worked hard as a team. We came together and was like, we didn't come to the SEC just to be a doormat. We wanted to compete. We wanted to compete for championship.
Since we don't know Johnny at all, what kind of guy is he off the field? Does he seem, just impressions are, he's that pretty happy-go-lucky?
Yeah, Johnny's a character. He's very energetic. He's almost too energetic sometimes, but you know, he's very competitive, and you know, he's a jokester. So he's one of those guys that you can get along with pretty well.
What's an example of maybe being too energetic or a jokester?
I would say, you know, when we're in the locker room and right before meetings, you know, guys are, you know, sometimes, you know, like in the mornings, you know, the morning meetings or the morning workouts, you know, guys are tired and, you know, just dragging in, but Johnny comes in and he's yelling and he's, what's up, easy, you know what I mean? Like, all right, Johnny, relax, man. It's morning, so gotta wake up first.
What about his competitive nature? Do you guys play anything, you got kind of games off the way from the field that he shows his competitiveness?
Oh yeah, we play Foursquare, and that's kind of our game. That I don't know how we ended up playing Foursquare, but we play Foursquare like almost every day. And he's one of those guys that, along with C. Mike and you know LeKendrick and Jarvis, was always, you know, arguing calls, or was always, you know, diving, or you know, making sure he got his, you know, athletic gear on so he's agile and things like that. So he's one of those guys that takes it a little bit too seriously.
Where do y'all play Foursquare?
Right in the middle of the locker room.
Oh.
What is Foursquare?
It's
It's more your generation, Suzanne.
Our generation.
It's a universal game. Everybody plays Foursquare, but it's where you got the 4 spots, like whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's the